Bada boom, bada bing. Everybody, welcome from Las Vegas. This is Alex with Wallace and REI, and we have a special guest, Mr. Keith Gillespie.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex, dude. I'm excited for this.
Dude, I'm excited to have you. You are our very first guest to ever come on the live stream. We've been doing these for a
Heck
little while.
yeah. What an honor. Well, thanks. Now I feel even more special.
No, the honor is all ours. Thank you for your service. We have a Marine vet on the line and a real estate rock star.
Thank you, my friend.
Heath was he's episode 5 of the WREI Talk Radio show. And honestly, your show is like super inspiring for me because you're an animal.
Thanks, man.
You're an animal. So today, Keith, we'll just kind of look at Harrison couldn't be here. If anybody looked at him yesterday, part of the reason he was so cranky online is because his eyes a little squinty because, well, job site accident at his own home. Just kidding. He did some landscaping, almost took his eye out, Keith.
Dang.
Dude,
He's a liability risk. Hire a professional.
We were saying that on an investor call. Like, he'll not be leading our landscaping division.
No, that's exactly right.
He's not even here to defend himself.
Insurance claims. My God.
Yeah, except it's on him and his wife's. So
there you
go. So anyway, dude, I have. So we go through. We look at MLS on this Find That Flip, and basically what we do is like we just explore things that are actively on the market. A lot of people say that there's no deals on the MLS, and that's just not true. We've found plenty of deals. I think a lot of people kind of get like just overwhelmed by MLS. I think there's so much competition, and there is, but there are deals out there. I mean, we've done like 10 of them straight off MLS and buy and build for 70%. But Keith, tell us, like, what do? You do real estate a little bit differently.
Spoiled. I'm so spoiled. So all of mine, not all of them, but most of them are off market. It's been 9 years approximately since I bought an on market house. So I'm just super spoiled. Everybody fills out a form on my website. The lead comes straight into my CRM. And we have a 3-minute speed to lead on average. It takes us 3 minutes from the time that form is submitted to us, our median speed to lead. Like whether it is you're looking at a week of data, a month of data, a quarter of data, a year of data, or all-time data, our average speed to lead is going to be 3 to 4 minutes. And we are engaging with that seller immediately, pushing them through a triage call, a little intake form, if you will, gathering some information. Tell me a little bit about the house, kind of what you have going on with it. What's the condition? What's the time frame? What's the mortgage? What are you looking to walk away with? Is creative financing an option? That sort of thing.
How many frogs do you kiss before you get to meet a prince?
Depending on the lead source with PPC, it's going to bounce somewhere between 12 and 18. With PPL, it's going to bounce somewhere between 15 and 26, maybe even 28. Now, it's kind of.
You guys hear that? This guy's a pro. He knows all his numbers like that.
I review them every week, and we just reviewed it yesterday, so they're fresh in my mind.
That's so cool. So you've tell everybody, like, give them a brief overview of kind of like your experience in 2 minutes. And then I want you to talk about REI Automated real fast.
Okay, cool. So 2 minutes experience. Good God, that's a lot of crap to plug into 2 minutes. I started with MLS. My first deal was a short sale that we found on the MLS. It took us almost about a year, actually, for us to get this thing under contract and successfully, closed on the deal. Just because of the negotiation with the bank, the short sale just took absolutely forever. I hated it. And after doing that first deal, I was like, heck no, never again. We need to go direct to sell. It wasn't even that good of a deal. It was supposed to be a 6-figure flip. And I ended up making $2,000 off of it. It was my own screw up, though, admittedly. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go direct to seller. And so we did every outbound form of marketing that you can possibly think of. I was pulling lists, getting them skip traced. I was cold calling, direct mail, ringless voicemails, text blasting. We were putting out bandit signs. I was putting on door hangers, driving for dollars. My God, magnets, newspaper ads, scraping Craigslist and Fizbo and Facebook Marketplace. We were just doing everything. So all outbound stuff, and I did all outbound for 4 years, and it's a lot of work. It's cheap, well, it's cheap monetarily, but I like to tell people that every lead costs the same. It just depends on what currency you're paying for it on. So you're either going to pay for it with a money currency, or you're going to pay for it with a time currency. And every lead is going to cost the same. Just some of them, it's way more time and a lot less money, like text message blasting, for example,
Or door knock.
or door knocking, driving for dollars. Yeah, that's right. Or it's going to be, way more expensive, like a PPC lead, but I only have to talk to 12, 13, 14, 15 of them before we put a property under contract.
Man, that's cool. We started with no money. We actually bought a house and then quit our jobs, and we were like barely making. It was like the most ridiculous investment strategy. We were like, oh, we have 45 days of savings. And,
oh my gosh!
And then we just started knocking on doors, man. Burned the shit.
Yeah, you did. You have some massive balls. I would have never. Please don't do that. Anybody's listening, considering following in Alex's footsteps, I think he'll tell you this may not be his wife is probably about to kill him.
No, she's like, that sounds like him. He's ridiculous. We did 1,000 was the million, like we were targeting pre-foreclosures. And we would, talk to tenants or residents and be like, hey, like, we know like something's going on, do you want to keep your house? Do you want to sell your house? For the people that were interested in trying to keep the house, we would work with like a nonprofit, direct them there so they could try to a new like loan mod or something. But then a lot of times they were just like, listen, I'm so tired of this. I hate my bank. I just want to sell it. Can you get out of it?
Yeah, here's the keys.
And we ended up doing a lot of like short sales, and we did 1,000 doors, got us our first 7 deals. We closed on number 7. Way too hard of a renovation project for deal number 1. And I'll never forget, Ray was like, I was our contractor of the time. And he was like, I'll give it to you. You guys don't know what you're doing, and you got big balls because you guys are over your head. We're like,
yeah, that's great. Thanks, Ray.
Yep.
Appreciate the encouragement.
That's awesome.
So 1,000 door knocks turned into 7. You said deals, but you meant contracts, right? And then 7 contracts turned into 1 deal?
Those were closings. Yeah.
Oh, good. Closings. Okay. Got it. So what happened to the other 6?
What do you mean? We did
were they did you wholesale them? Did you also do renovations?
Oh yeah. So for the other 6, they were wholesales or traditional sales.
Got it.
Because we were finding homeowners that were in pre-foreclosure. Some of them were upside down. So we would actually just go right to the bank. We would get a letter of authorization to talk to the bank. And then we would just basically go to the bank and say, hey, we are the buyer here. We found this, John Doe
homeowner, yeah.
And they want to sell their house and they owe more than it's worth. It's beat up. And, we would actually talk, and, some of the banks would let you just communicate directly with them. Not all of them panned out. And then for some of them that didn't really pan out or didn't work out, they would just turn into traditional listings, or, we would just disclose and they would let us wholesale the contract.
Cool.
You can usually get away with most things as long as you disclose.
Yeah.
It's really only when you don't disclose that you get into hot water.
That's right.
So now you have a real estate education and coaching platform, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
So a little bit about REI Automated in a nutshell. There's 3 pillars of REI Automated. Pillar number 1 is going to be education. And so I'll teach you about the deal structure. I'll teach you about the deal analysis. I'll teach you about the sales and negotiation, how to build a team, how to raise private money, so on and so forth. So everything that you need to know in order to be an awesome real estate investor is going to be in our education pillar. Pillar number 2 is going to be operating system. So operating system, I'll give you the same analogy that I did. I'm an avid outdoorsman, so we're going to run with the fishing analogy. So I've just brought you in and I've said, hey, Alex, I'm going to teach you how to fish. Like classroom environment, we're going to watch the whiteboard, right? Now that I've taught you how to fish, you can't just leave people to their own devices to go fish, because they're not they're not going to do it right. So now I'm going to say, all right, I've taught you how to fish. Now here's the rod and here's the reel in order to go fishing. So I've taught you how to talk with sellers. Now here's the script. I've taught you how to analyze deals. Now here's the deal analyzer. I've told you that speed to lead and consistency and follow-up is super important. Now here's the CRM that we've built out, right? So we've built out all of these tools, hand-coded. It's my own stuff. It's not white labeled. That is all housed in operating system. And that's all REI Automated used to be, was just pillar number 1 and pillar number 2. But then, and I'm thinking like, man, everyone should be successful. You know what to do and you have the tools and resources that you need in order to execute. But then people, they go out and they execute and, they're about to throw their line in the river and they look downstream and there's a big ass black bear. And that black bear is representative of a hurdle, an obstacle, an objection that the seller gives them, a question that they don't know the answer to, a legal issue, a title claim, whatever it is, right? They don't know what to do. Well, wouldn't it be helpful if you had somebody there to support you? So that's pillar number 3 that we added about 2 years ago. So now you have access to me. We run daily calls with support. You're dedicated, a one-on-one coach. We call them a client success manager, CSM. Client success manager is your dedicated one-on-one coach. You also have a dedicated executive assistant, a dedicated developer. That's for the first 4 months. You have those people. We have community leaders within within REI Automated community that are just like model real estate investors. They're running their lives well, like personally. They're running their teams well. Their business is going well, and now they want to give back to the community. So with those 3 things, it's quite literally the winning recipe. To bake a cake, you have to have flour, sugar, eggs. I don't know. I've actually never baked. Not trying to self-incriminate here. I don't know all the ingredients for a cake, but you have to have these essential elements in order to bake a cake. Well, you have to have these essential elements. There's only 3 in order to run a successful real estate investing business. And those are the 3. You have to have good education. You have to have the right systems, and you have to have the support for when you don't know what you're doing.
Guys,
that's REI Automated in a nutshell.
Dude, REI Automated on the WREI Talk Radio. Find that.
Thanks, man.
Dude, let's
appreciate
go.
Give me the plug. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be putting that link in the YouTube video when the podcast drops for that 1 free course. Can I put the link for anybody that watches this show in the comments?
Absolutely. I would love that. That is meant for you and your audience. Really, really cool. So just to kind of flesh out exactly what he's talking about. A lot of people, they will give you a free, what we call a lead magnet, and they're crap. There's no action items. There's no execution. It's garbage information. They are intentionally like, here's 40% of the information that you need in order to be successful. I hate this business model. And so what I've done is I've created these courses, right? And you get to pick whichever one you want. It is the whole course. It is not a partial course. It is not just a piece of what you need in order to understand, for example, deal structure or, for example, deal analysis. It is all of the videos about deal analysis. It is the deal analyzer. You get the ARV finder. You get the repair estimator. So, all right. Don't get that one, though. Don't get that course. Get the course that is really going to be the biggest blessing to you in your life. Right now, in the season of your investment career, there's going to be a bottleneck. Like, identify your core constraint. There's 8 courses that you can choose from, and you get to choose one of them for free. Any one of them. Choose wisely. You only get 1. You can't get 2. So any one of those is going to be absolutely free, and it's the full course. It's not some tiny little stupid lead magnet. It is everything that you need all wrapped in that course.
Guys, I signed up for the capital raising course. I'm going to be going through that. Yes, we are. Anybody following along knows that we've been raising cash to scale our company, doing it through a private equity fund. So super excited to do this. And I won't give away the secret sauce, but I'll do a review.
No lie, 2 weekends ago, I was in Chicago, Illinois, speaking at a mastermind, and I raised about $1.5 million over the course of that weekend, just in conversations with 7 people.
Wow.
Using what I teach in the funding formula.
Dude, let's go.
So
guys,
use it. Use it.
I told you this inspiration. This video is this podcast is inspirational because you're a rock star.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
The question is can everybody else make it look as easy as you can?
I break it. You know what? I think I told you this on the podcast, but just to kind of down my own life a little bit. So think about the word marine. Did I give this analogy to you last time?
I don't know. Do it again.
Okay, think about if the word Marines was spelled above my head, Marine. Muscles are required, intelligence not essential. So I'm here to tell you, you have all these kids coming in 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. They are dumber than a box of rocks. Okay, there's a reason why they tell you that Marines eat crayons. Like IQ is pretty low. Okay, you don't need to be very smart in order to operate an M4. However, there is some really hard stuff that they teach you in the Marine Corps. You have to be memorizing 9 lines. You have all these things, tons of stuff. No, and that's just like Marine Corps general stuff. Then you have specific to your job, specific to your rank. You have so much. I'm getting chills thinking about all the crap that you have to memorize. You have to memorize everything. And so, how do you teach young, inexperienced, not super smart IQ people hard to remember things? Well, we call it breaking it down Barney style, or like color by the numbers. So I got really good over 8 years. I can't tell you how many Marines were underneath me over those 8 years, but absolutely hundreds, multiple hundreds, right? So I got really used to like, this is a super complex, hard, comprehensive task or thing that I need you to understand. Let's just simplify it. Let's break it down. All right, there's 4 steps. Here's the 4 steps. Now let's break down step 1. Step 1 is 5 steps. Let's break down the first of those steps. There's 3 things that you need to remember here. And then once we're done with those 3 things, now we're going to go down to the step 1. Now there's 2 things that you need to remember here. You know, and like here's a video, here's a description, here's an SOP that you need. I've broken that same exact thing down for a real estate investing business as well. What do you need for a real estate investing business? You have acquisitions, you have dispositions, then you have admin and logistics, things like payroll and things like this, right? But it's mainly acquisitions, dispositions. Well, there's 4 seats in the acquisition. You have your lead manager, your deal analyst, your acquisition manager, transaction coordinator. Over here, now you have project manager, disposition manager, and capital creator. Perfect. Great. All right. Now let's break it down. Okay. So got to take off my edge. I get excited about this stuff.
Dude.
Just break it down simple, you know?
This is great. Everybody that comes back and watches this is gonna, dude, so many nuggets.
We're totally not even analyzing deals. We should get to the topic of today's discussion, right?
That's right. We're just gonna look at some ridiculous real estate. I pulled up something special because we were just in this neighborhood at another friend's developments, and you know, this is the neighborhood of the 1% of the 1%.
Okay. All right. I'm excited. Where is this?
This isn't even really flipped. Caleb, Mr. Producer Man, you hid my boom, and he's back.
Look at that.
Thank you, sir. All right. So, all right, we are streaming. So what we do is a lot of times I just, I wanted to see like what is for sale, new, active, price contingent, multifamily, and then I just, TLC is what I literally put in, and then Washington Park. This is the listing that I found here, but this is a 2-family home. The pictures are taking a minute to pull up here for whatever reason. 2-family, 4,268 square feet for the casual list price of $1.85 million.
Okay.
Yeah, for a multi, baby. Here we go. So, but isn't she pretty? So this
wow. Okay.
This isn't really even a flip. This is what I guess we're gonna chalk this up more to a development, but this is the bones. I saw this, and what I've noticed is kind of interesting, Keith, is a lot of people don't want to buy multifamily investment properties. A lot of times they don't want to deal with the headache. A 3-family that could be worth $800,000. It's harder to find people to buy it, but it's easier to find people that'll buy each floor sold off as a condo for $500,000.
Yeah. Condo conversions are really popular.
Yeah. So this condo conversion kind of became, look at this little guitar. Can you play the guitar, Keith?
No.
Okay.
I wish.
These condo conversions kind of became like the way forward for this forced appreciation. So this is Washington Park in Newton, Massachusetts. Really good school system. It's a suburb outside of Boston. Lots of luxury real estate. This is obviously super clean, a little dated. Ooh, do you punch
Hmm.
do you hit the bag?
I used to. I love fighting.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you do.
I really enjoy it. I am a black belt in McMap, and there's very few Marines who can say that they're a black belt in McMap.
There,
This is
let's-
Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, is what McMap stands for.
Really?
Yeah.
So can regular people do the can they get trained in that?
No.
No. Okay.
The intent is to kill. It's not even to like.
It's not even to wrestle around on the floor.
No, it's not to break your bones. It's to kill you.
Okay.
So no, typical people outside the Marine Corps are not allowed to get trained this way.
Okay, so guys, no one needs to be scared. Remember, he's only on the screen. You didn't steal his listing from him. So, all right. So yeah, this is basically a really nice 2-family. But then I was just wondering, like, what a cool
Yeah.
third floor. So these are side by side units here. This is your outdoor space for 1.8 million bucks. Here's another unit. Cool. I guess we got a finished basement here. There's opportunity to maybe put some window wells down here.
So is there 2 entrances to this place, and they split it in half? There's 4 levels, including the basement.
You know, it looks like there's just one big front door right here, and then it looks like there's probably a separation in this foyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not positive. You know, we tell everybody here, you know, this is if you're just kind of doing napkin math deal numbers here, you know, always walk the property, always walk your comps. But here's something really special that not everything comes with in Boston is parking spaces.
Mm.
Yes. Sometimes you can see parking spots for sale for $100,000 to $300,000.
Good. Wow.
Casual.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I
Boston.
lived in Hawaii, and it wasn't even that expensive in Hawaii.
Yeah. Pretty weird, pretty crazy. It's you know, Boston is a market that literally can't keep up with the demand right now, and the zoning regulations to build anything new are so cumbersome and they're so antiquated. Although there has been some change recently in some of the neighborhoods, they're actually promoting more density, but you know, Massachusetts is kind of trying to become like this life science hub center. So we've got a lot of life science real estate development happening. So communities that had a lot of industrial mill work, a lot of those buildings are being repurposed for life sciences. We've got all these great hospitals and super smart education hubs. And Western Massachusetts, where we are, is honestly one of the only places where industrial manufacturing still has an opportunity to actually participate, because the cost of real estate is just less expensive. You can still support some of these products on like minimum wage, whereas, you know, if you're spending, you know, 5 to 10x the purchase price for the building, your overhead just eats away at your margin. So, yeah. So they're trying to. We've got more people moving to Boston, and the landscape's changing because, you know, people don't work as much from their office. So the office space is weird, but they need more residential housing more than ever. So, you know, there will be an open house on Saturday, everybody, from 12:30 to 2 p.m. If you want to get in, let us know. This is investor opportunity TLC in a huge 2-family side by side, one of Newton's charming streets. That was a side street, everybody, not a main road. The main entrance is on the right for Unit 1, a welcoming living room with traditional characteristics on hardwood flooring, continues to the dining room, into a full kitchen with granite countertops, island bar chairs, a bathroom with cool tiling on the ceiling on one side, and the back is a mudroom. Up the stairs to the third floor is an open sitting room. Unit 2 is on the left and has an in-law setting with 1 bathroom and 3 rooms, and the second floor leads to a bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and a full kitchen. Extra rooms in both units for the big family, ample yard, 6 car parking spaces out in
There
front.
you go.
Just steps away from a small park, shopping, restaurants, market, and transportation. So, yeah, looks like that basement area is 1,740 square feet.
That's big.
Yeah, that's bigger
That's
than the house.
big.
That's bigger than the house I grew up in. All right, so all that is yours for the cool price of 1.85 million bucks. And then what I like to do is, before I even talk about like renovations and what it'll cost to fix it up, if I'm looking at something that I'm just interested in, I like to look at what could it actually be worth, like all fixed up at the top of the market first. And the only reason I knew, Newton has $1.5 million plus townhomes. So I looked at this first and I said, this is maybe a development deal. So let's take a peek here at some condos or townhomes that have been sold. We're looking at, we've got about just under 2,200 square feet per unit. So I've got my my property here, and I'm pulling comps within half a mile. So we're going to look at things that are under agreement, sold, and on the market. We've got 25 listings, and some of these are a bit more affordable. This is 1,100 square feet for 600 grand, but completely different asset. Not nearly as, fancy. This is not a renovated, but on MLS, we can just go all the way down to the bottom where the most expensive properties live. And now we see new construction, single family. Oh, I have single families. I want condos. Oh, they have a single family in the condo section. Okay.
Doofuses.
Oh, maybe this is an ADU or something on it. Now, Keith, everybody in Massachusetts with a single family home can build an additional dwelling unit by right.
Cool.
Yep. So this is new construction 2024. Let's see. We've got open layouts, high ceilings. We've got a $2.1 million townhome. This is 3,000 square feet. That's too big. 2,800 sold for just under 1.8. Still big.
That looks brand new.
Yeah, this one's
That's CGI.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just in episode 10 with our friend Mark Savatsky from Choose Boston. He does deals like this, and in this market, we were right around the corner. All right, that one's still big. You guys want, when you're looking at deals and you want comps, you want them to be similar in size, style if possible. So here's a decent one. We've got this is under agreement with an anticipated close date of the end of May. So this is a Victorian lover's dream for 1.7 million bones. All right. So that's old money.
Yeah.
That is old money. No. What do you think about these types of deals where, like, do you like the old wood?
I don't think that it matters what I like. It matters what the market determines.
Yeah.
I would look at the comps, and it's all dependent on the market. Because again, I invest. I actually have wholesaled in Boston, but I've done deals, in 34 states. And so like in the South, something may fly where you take it to the North and they're like, are you kidding? That's from 2010, like that's super old, where East to West is also a thing. And so I try to like be, what's it called, where you don't believe anything? Not agnostic. Now we're talking about like spiritual thing. Apathetic. I'm apathetic. It doesn't even matter to me. What does it look like it needs? Because I'm plain Jane. Look, I have nothing on my walls except a Marine Corps thing. Like, no, there's nothing in my background. That's how I roll. If I allowed my wife in my office, there'd be colors everywhere and plants everywhere. Right? She has a totally different style. It doesn't really matter what I like or what you like. What matters is what is the market asking for, and you
My
can
man.
see that by looking at your comps.
My man. So, it was interesting. We did a two-family once in Brockton, Massachusetts, which is about 30-40 minutes south. And it was a
Wow,
beautiful
that's
home. We've
beautiful
walked.
flooring. Look at that.
Oh yeah, it had flooring just like this where they inlaid it, and they had these pretty designs, and they had this, very expensive $10 square linear foot trim just like this.
Ooh.
And yeah, if you didn't know you were in Brockton, you'd think you were in a different neighborhood. And I remember when we sold it, the buyer came and she was frustrated that we didn't like that she had the old trim. And I was like, this is like, this is so luxurious and A, incredibly expensive to replace, and B, not in the price point for this market. But
Yeah.
it was interesting because buyer trends, they shift, and she
Yeah.
was like, I wanted it to be nice and new, and I'm like, this is Victorian level stuff. So that's 1.7 million bucks, guys. These 27, 2,800, 3,300 square feet for 1.5. I don't know, guys, if we're gonna have enough meat on the bones for this Victorian to do condominium comps. But oh, look at that tiling on the walls. That's pretty gnarly.
That's neat.
Yeah. Oh, we got a single rose.
That's the only picture?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nope. There we go. Got it. We got enough. Here's something that bugs me. Whenever you can tell that these
Yeah,
lights don't
they're not straight. You know what else bugs me? Why put tile on the walls if you're not gonna at least waterfall the quartz? Give me a break.
Things people with experience say.
Idiots. Like, and what? Hold on. Go back to. Go back one more. No. Where's the? Okay, whatever. Fine. Any one of these is okay. So, like, literally, it's more expensive to put the tile than it is to get the larger cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling.
Yep.
Hello, Alexa, stop. So it's like, what? It's cheaper and it's better. Why opt to do this? This person has no idea what they're doing, and they clearly don't know how to use a laser for drilling holes in the ceiling either, which is just perturbs me to no end.
Yeah, you're funny. You're awesome. We gotta do more of these. So, yeah, I have to agree with you. But it's sold. It's sold.
Yeah, they had a
Sometimes,
great eye for design. I mean, these are wonderful pictures. It's beautiful.
yeah. I
I just
wonder. I wonder who
nitpick.
staged it.
It potentially, I. It's really small on my screen. Like I'm looking at a picture that's only maybe 4 inches wide and 2 inches tall. So it's really, really small. But the staging almost looks too perfect,
It could be
almost like
virtual.
it may be virtual staging. I
Yeah.
can't. It's too small for me to actually tell.
Yeah. You're probably right. I think it might be. I think it
Like,
might.
look at that freaking. Go back to that. That would be the most. There is always fingerprints on the washer and dryer when it's stainless steel like this, black stainless steel. I
Well,
don't know, dude.
They
I
cleaned
think
it. They cleaned it real nice. They cleaned
Yeah.
it real nice before they came in and did these. Um, all right,
Oh,
so
I like what they did there with the half wall.
that's what. So we've got. Let's see. We've got 3,000 guys. I don't know if we are. Ooh, look at this. We got something in a church.
It looks like a church, yeah.
We are sidetracked for a moment. And honestly, Keith, that's just sometimes what these find that flips turn into.
Yeah, heck
Is
yeah.
me just running and gunning and spinning my wheels for 30 minutes. But sometimes that's what it's like in I guess when you're exploring the market and you're just looking around and peekabooing, this is what everyone's doing. Unless you're Keith with a 3-minute speed to lead acquisition and you're super systemized. But guys, click his course. It'll be in the comment below. Okay.
This looks
You know,
nice.
We have a church. We've considered a residential conversion.
Whoa.
Huh. All right. Completely different product, guys.
Yeah.
Listen. Oh, okay. We got 2,200 square feet. We're going to do this quickly because we've all got to be off of this by 1 p.m. here. We've got 1.425 million, which means if we can replicate this twice, we've got a $2.8 million sellout on that $1.8 million investment deal. But the question is, how much money do we need to do? This has been fully renovated by a premier developer, they say, as part of a 4 new unit condominiums to market. Here we go. Do you like this? You like this top of cabinet a bit more?
Yeah. They go to the ceiling and the lights are straight.
Yep. Although I don't know why they stopped it right here. That's okay. Yep. The lights are straight. You got it. Look, we got a waterfall.
See, this guy knows what he's doing.
This guy knows what he's doing. Oh man, guys, I think it's possible. If I'm in town on Saturday, I'm going to stop by this open house so I can report back on a little bit more of this. It's going to be hard for me to say, hey, can we do 200 grand a unit? Can we do 300 grand a unit and make this thing super nice? But I got a feeling if we're going to sell it out for 2.8, we want to be all in to this thing for about $2 million because your holding cost is going to be very expensive on a deal this big, guys.
Mm-hmm.
The more money you hold, the more money it costs, and it'll burn. So you want to be able to do this deal in 12 months or so. Otherwise, your holding costs are going to eat all your profit, and that's assuming everything goes on budget and on time. And if anybody knows real estate, that's exactly how it works 100% of the time. Yep. Keith, thank you for coming on Find That Flip. This is awesome.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to put your link in the bio. Anybody who wants to reach out directly to him will have his information. This was a lot of fun. I want to come on. We want to do another live stream with you, and I want you to walk us through your market and what deals look like for you.
Okay, great. I'd love to. That'd be fun.
Good. That was awesome. Everybody, peace, love. We will see you soon tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow, I think it'll just be Harrison on the live stream. I will be at UConn for a career fair. Keith, we're bringing on some interns that we talked about.
Cool. Yeah. Good.
Everybody, Godspeed. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. Keith, peace.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Bye.